I think, thank you so much. This is a wonderful time to meet you. I don't really know what the video might be meeting you, all these voices might be reaching out to you, but I think it's a good thing. I really want you to let's look at some certain things that you will learn that will be also of help to you too in life. It's quite very important. And we're talking about it, anger. And this is the questions that a lot of people have been asking and how to control anger. And that's why I'm reacting on this. Anger itself is not really actually something that is very bad. Anger is not very bad, okay? But one of the thing you need to really understand by anger is this, where we channel the energy of anger to. That's also what really matters. And remember this: each time you get angry and you take decisions out of anger, 99% of those decisions you take why angry, they are wrong. Yeah, they are wrong. And another thing I also want to tell you is this: don't always be. Majority of the decisions we take while we're angry because we are more emotional. Yeah, more emotional than we use our senses. Mistakes you have made in life. Majority, if you sit down and look at the mistakes you have ever made in life, you find out that you are more emotional than when you use your senses. So you make those mistakes because you're more emotional, not even your senses. If you use your senses, you make lesser errors and mistakes in life when you use your senses. So majority of the problem you got into because you are more emotional, and majority of times you get angry. It's emotional, of course. Let me just give an example. Probably somebody's owing you money and you've been asking this person to pay you the money, and somebody's just sent a text. The person sent a text to you. Do you know who? And like you didn't read all the text, but the first words you saw that popped in for do probably you have called the person severally. The person is not calling and not responding, and you send messages, and you now say, "Do you know who?" And the next thing you complete in your mind, who I'm talking to, like you completed it. Is you're emotional about it. You not completed it. The next thing you get angry. He said, "What?" You send me a message. Said, "Do you know who I'm talking to? Who are you?" Then you start responding to that person. But actually, that's not really what the person's meant. I'm not trying to tell you emotions when your emotions and react over things, but you didn't really check what that person was really talking to, saying about. Maybe the person was saying that, "Do you know who I was talking to at the time you called me that I didn't pick calls?" So, but you didn't get it. You feel that the person is saying to you, "Do you know who you are talking to?" So you now react. Those are emotions. That's why I say, anytime you are angry, the best thing you should do, give time before you reply. Give time before you give answers. Anytime you're angry, don't take decisions immediately. What you should do, give time 1 to 2 to 3 days and find out if you're going to get exactly the same energy that you are getting now to react. If you're going to get that same energy to take such decisions that you are reacting to take. Give time. When you give time, do you know what happens? Your senses will begin to process on the whole matter. And then you begin to find a lot of reasons why you shouldn't take some certain decisions that you're about to take. So give time. Use your senses than your emotions. Because the negative decisions we take during the time of anger are mostly emotional. You know, when we talked about anger, one of the things you should look into is this. Does it profit you? Whatever you should be doing in life, you should do things that probably profit you. The question is this: how does the anger profit you? How does it profit you? Is it something that you profit from it? Because anger will take a lot of people from your life that will never come back again. Anger will push the right people out of your life. Anger will most of the times make you and keep you in isolation. Because everybody who comes around you, they only get the negative energy of who you are. And that's why you need to learn. Even though you have lived in such a kind of life for a very long time, maybe for years, now you need to learn how to be silent when you're angry. You need to learn how to think before you talk. You see, sometimes people said, I don't care what anybody thinks about me. That is my life. Either you like me, you take me. If you don't like, you leave. And that's true. A lot of people, I tell you the truth, a lot of people are going to leave you. Yeah. You don't care. Yeah. So they will leave you. Because nobody will ever want to have a person with a negative energy. Nobody will ever. Take life also as a business. Remember that the person who sells food items, maybe in the market, when the rain is coming, the person protects what he or she is selling. So the rain will not destroy what he or she is selling. The person try to protect. Why is the person doing that? Because the person doesn't want to suffer loss. Because if the rain comes and the person says, I don't care, the person will suffer loss. So anytime you don't care to protect your character, your attitude, and reactions over things, you will have losses. Either you care or you don't care. Are you aware that when those items get bad, nobody wants to buy them because they're not good anymore? Just reflect this. Take your life also as a business, that when your life gets bad, nobody wants to work with you because they are not going to make profit. You must trade your life as a business. You must look at the things that will make your life not to be profitable. It's not really probably like you like it or you don't like it. Let me just give you something concerning a woman who sells fish. You see, those women who sells fish, in the money they takes the ice fish to sell, and those of them who doesn't have freezers, once the ice goes out of the fridge, do you know what they do? They look for a way to smoke the fish, dried it, so the fish can still be good, can still be relevant, so they can sell it. If they say, I don't care, either the ice leaves or the ice don't leave, whoever they want to buy, let it buy. If those fish get bad and start smelling, people will not touch them. Don't just feel that your life is your life. You do with it whatever you want to do with it. Of course. But the losses you are going to have will really affect you. That you will not enjoy this life. Neither will you ever want to live this life. Because people are going to go far from you. So now adjust your life. Look at the things that will bring losses to you and avoid them. So anger will bring losses, so I avoid it. Some people say, I don't pretend, this is me, I tell you who I am. Let me also let you to know something. That's not it. There are people who sells goods in the market. And sometimes the dust comes in, covers in the goods, and the beauty of the cartons will no longer be attractive, so they have to dust it and clean it. Have you ever seen that most of the times a picture of a carton of a goose is more beautiful than what is inside? And so people comes in for it. I'm not trying to say that you should pretend and then be bad. No. When you pretend to be good, it will draw people to you. And when you now see the benefit of being good, you will adopt it to just automatically be good. Because you make profit from it. Because when you don't allow the negative energy of your anger to create a lot of issues with people, people will come to you. And the people will say you're a very kind person. People will say you're a nice person. Yeah, because it will keep people very well from you. Because, most of the times when you're angry, you say things you shouldn't have said. There is a proverb that says, if you fall with your leg, you can get up back. But when you fall with your mouth, you might not rise again. They are words you said to people. They don't forget them till they leave this earth. And no matter how you tried to apologize to them, they can forgive, but they won't forget. That's why you should be very careful when you get angry what you say to people. You may be saying things because you're hot, you're angry, but the negative effect of the words you said can last for years in those people. And that could be one of the things people will leave you. That will be one of the things people will use to judge you. What you said, you might not be like that, but they judge you on what you said. That's why when you're angry, don't talk. Just give time. Learn how to be silent. That's another means of controlling anger. Just like a customer who comes to buy goods and the customer needed to sell this goods so that these goods will go out of the shop. So when a customer comes in, maybe the customer price in a way he or she doesn't like, the person accommodate it, overlook it, or what the person is after, let the customer buy the goods. So when you know the advantage of controlling, the benefit you get by controlling your anger, you do everything to do to control your anger. It's just that some people have never believed they have never come to realize the losses they have concerning the way they handle issues in their life. Stop being emotional. That's the problem. The way you're thinking is the problem. You were calling somebody and the person didn't pick the call. And the next thing you get angry. And you block the person. Who did the person think he is or she is? You get upset. Why will I be calling you, not picking calls? You're emotional because the next thing your thought comes into you is seeing my calls, he's not picking. But why not look at this? Have there been any time somebody calls you and your phone wasn't close to you? You not say yes. That means it might be also true that the phone of this person is not really closed. Your emotions that make you upset need to be questioned, but you leave them unquestioned. That's the reason. So immediately you not just ask yourself back that questions and said, is there any time there are people have called me and my phone wasn't close to me? Yes. Or is there any time they have called me, my phone is switched off? Yes. Then that means this could also happen to me. So if I was in the shoe of this person, how will I want the person to react towards me? Let the person understand that such an occurrence might be taking place. You see it, you judge that, the next thing, you can't get upset anymore. Do you know one of the things, the Pharisees, the Jews who brought the woman who was caught in adultery, do you really know why they dropped the stones? Jesus just said to them, if any of you don't have a sin, be the first to cast a stone. If you have not made errors in your life, come on, judge her. And did not just find it that their conscience was just attacked. Though, I've done such things. Please. They left. So you have to question those emotions that made you upset. You saw you okay, for example, and let me just tell you a story that happened one certain time. A man had an appointment with another man who he wants to give a job, and they booked the appointment by 8:30 for the man to be at the office so they can sign the document for the contract. So the man came actually by 8 o'clock, even before the time. But on his way coming down to the office, the boss wife who was coming to the office had an accident. So the man upside there, so he rushed her to the hospital. So around 9:30 to 10, he was calling the man, and the man was very upset, ignore his calls, saying that this man is not to be trusted. Imagine that we have an appointment, something I want to do, help to you, and you refuse to come, and now you're just calling me. He's unserious. He refused to pick the call. And at that time, the wife needed blood. What is he going to do? How are they going to reach out? So they have to use another phone to call. So he picked, and the man said, "Sir, I'm the one calling you. I'm in the hospital with your wife. On my way coming, this happened." Whereas the man over there was very upset, and he also made decision that he's going to get somebody else to take over the job. Whereas that's not what the case looks like. So immediately he has to rush and come down. And he now saw the whole thing, the kindness of the man. He felt very bad and very sorry for thinking and making decisions the way he was deciding concerning the whole situation. So what I'm saying is this: when we learn to put other people in our place, we will also know the way to judge them. That's why I say, before you judge a person, before you react, sometimes put yourself in the shoe of that person. If this person was to be me, how will I want this person to react? So that's one of the way. When you begin to question your emotions, question them. Don't just leave them. Those voices speaking very loud, they are not you. They are just your emotions. So question them. If you leave them unquestioned, they will dominate you, and you react based on them. That's what you should not. Don't react based on them. So question them. Another thing also I have to tell you concerning anger, it's not profitable. It doesn't help. It will put you on a negative side and makes people to feel you're a bad person. People are going to try to test you, to shift you, to know the kind of persons you are. But don't react. Don't allow people with their negative vibe to make you unhappy. No. A customer walked in to rent a hotel room and came in. So and found out that there's no light, and he was about to book. And the young man was telling "Sir, we don't have light, steady light, but we're going to have light at night." So the man was very upset. What kind of useless hotel is this? Very useless, very nonsense. This, that. Abusing the young man who was in a receptionist, was abusing him. But the guy never said a word. And the man later left, bounced the door. So another customer said, "Why is this man talking to you this way?" Do you know what the guy replied? "Well, I never can tell about this fellow. Maybe he's upset with his wife or his family, and he's all looking for a way to express his feelings, his anger. So I happen to be an scapegoat that he used to express, at least to release himself. So I never can blame him." Wow, what a response. He never can blame him, because maybe he's upset somewhere and he's looking for a way he can release out his anger. And that's why he never reacts. So can you just also reason and see things this way? When you react over things, it doesn't make you like you're powerful. It doesn't make you like you're strong or you're intelligent or you don't take nonsense. No. There's a way you react over things, you end up becoming foolish and stupid. But you keep silent. Just go silent. Just walk away. You don't talk. Majority of people who talks much, they don't take actions. But don't talk. Just look, overlook, go ponder over it, think over it. Actually, this as well as anger has caused a lot of people to walk out of their marriages. Anger has caused a lot of people to lose good life partners. Anger has caused a lot of people, yes, anger. And when you go to them, they say, I don't care. But deep inside their heart, they are full of sorrows. They tell us, I don't care. Yeah, their ego, the pride in them will tell them. No, they don't want to show that they are feeling it because they left the relationship, or they won't say it. They will tell us, I don't care. I can't go back there anymore. Because anger has an ego. So the ego will keep you not to probably bring down yourself, to submit. Yeah, of course it does that. But always question your anger. Always question it. And look at the things you're going to lose, or the things you've lost, and the things you're going to lose when you become angry. Just like what I said, anger itself is not totally bad, because if you channel the anger to the right things, like for example, you said, I'm not going to abuse anybody. So I'm not going to abuse people. You channel your anger, you said, I'm not going to speak negative of anybody. That's my life, that's my standard. So anything you try to do against these things, you become angry against these things you said. So you talk back to yourself, you said, I have said this already. I'm not going to talk evil about anybody. I'm not going to abuse people. You see it. So for you to keep to most of those things, you have to channel the energy of your anger to those positive things that you wouldn't want to do. I'm not going to spend all my days watching TV, watching movies on my phone. No. I give my phones 1 hour to watch whatever I want to watch. I'm not going to exceed more than this. I have to face my future. I have to face my business. Immediately you say this, you channel your anger to those things. So when you're about to cross the boundaries, you become upset, and then you tell yourself, no, I won't go far above this. So your anger is not really bad, but all depends on the area you're channeling the energy to. So you can stop channeling your energy to those things and channel the energy of your anger to the right things. And another thing I also want to say to you is this. I know of a lot of homes and marriages that has been destroyed because of this particular thing. Okay, anger, of course, a lot of them. It's just like when the husband is giving instructions to the wife said, you're controlling me. I don't want anybody to control me, and she become upset. That's emotional. Because normally before you get into marriage, go back, find out what God instituted marriage to be, what God said the position of the man is, what God says the position of the wife is. Do you even know, I'm going to talk this on another different of the message, maybe anger part 2 or so. Do you really know that God even said, if a woman goes out and make a vow to God, and the husband is not aware, and the husband becomes aware, and the husband says no to the vow, the woman will be free of such a vow. Ha ha ha. To God, yes. God placed the man above. So if you're not really wanting to have a boss, don't have a husband. God never made the man and the woman to be equal. Just get that. He's the head. He makes decisions. So if a man does not work to make decisions about you, don't even get married to him. Because you're not going to live according to what God says, and such a home will have issues. So when you understand this, that even God said, if the wife made a vow, the husband can stop the vow. And she'll be guiltless because the husband said no. What is it? It means God even placed him in the position as a God. That even though you made decisions, a vow to God, he says no. And let me also tell you something. If you tell God, God, my husband said I shouldn't go to church, God will say, obey him. God, my husband said I shouldn't pray, God will say, obey him. So that's the reason why you should know who you're going to get married to. Because God will never violate his words. He will never tell you disobey the man you marry. The Bible said, why be submissive to your husband, calling him Lord, just as Sarah calls Abraham Lord. That's it. So understand this. All the people who said, my husband and I, we are equal, this, that, you do. No. One thing you need to really understand. You see, the reason sometimes we get upset over things, we don't really know, we don't have knowledge about those things. Like, for example, now when you get married, just know that everything about you. The Bible says when God took the rib, first of all, he took the rib up from the man and fashioned a woman. And when God fashioned the woman, God beautified her. God brought the woman to the man. Listen, bringing the woman to the man means this woman belongs to you. Her beauty, her look, clothes, intelligence, wisdom, her business, whatever you could call that the woman has, was given to the man. So there is nothing when it comes to husband and wife like the wife business, the man business. No. You see what all the woman has, her beauty. She's a professor, she's this and that. All was given to